Good morning, everybody. It's December 14th, 2022. I'm meteorologist Beau, and we received some rain over the last 24 hours, a widespread, about a half an inch to an inch and a half of rain across the entire area. The lower totals I noticed were near Murray. Some of the higher totals were in southeast Missouri and southern Illinois. As a matter of fact, at the Weather Observatory in Massac County, I received 1.75 inches of rain, 1 3/4 inches of rain. We needed the rain, and we still need more rain. And the good news is that more rain is on the way. We take a look at radar this morning at about 7:15, and we see widespread rain from Indiana, Ohio, back into eastern Kentucky, and then we see severe thunderstorms where we said they would be down in Louisiana, Mississippi, and moving into Alabama. There were tornadoes yesterday across portions of Texas and Louisiana. And we see tornado warnings this morning. As we zoom in here, you can see these purple boxes. These are tornado warnings south of Philadelphia, Mississippi, east of Jackson, Mississippi. Jackson, Mississippi area did have a tornado warning earlier this morning. I haven't received any damage reports yet, but there have been some severe thunderstorms over a fairly large area to our south, and that's going to be the rule today as well. We push up here to our region and watch what's happening back here. This is another area, a wave, if you will, of low pressure that's developing along the front. If you remember, over the last few days, we've been telling you that a secondary low was likely going to form and that would bring additional rain back into the region as we moved into the morning, especially the late morning and afternoon hours. So this is a second wave of low pressure developing. It's a good thing we don't have cold air in place, because this would have been a setup for an ice storm or snow event. I say good, some of you want snow, but we'll just leave that aside. Additional rain moving into the area today. Expect rain totals of around 3/4 of an inch to an inch or so over Kentucky and Tennessee, tapering as you move towards Mount Vernon and St. Genevieve. We're going to taper that off to 1/4 to 1/2 an inch. So lower totals north, higher totals as you move south and east. All of this rain will push out of the region tonight, ending in western Kentucky before midnight, ending earlier over Missouri, Illinois, and Tennessee. So it will end southwest to northeast. That will leave us with dry conditions after midnight, perhaps some patchy fall. We'll watch for that. And then dry Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Could be, I keep mentioning, a few snow flurries or snow showers over primarily northern portions of southern Illinois and northwestern Kentucky as we move into Friday night, and Saturday, as colder air moves into the region. That cold air is going to stick around all the way through Christmas, and then after Christmas as well. Whether we get any snow or ice or a winter storm with this setup remains the big question. Let me show you some more maps. Okay, let me show you the GFS model. This is the temperature anomaly map. This shows you how many degrees Celsius above or below temperatures are expected to be. Average temperatures this time of year are in the low to mid 40s for highs, in the upper 20s, lower 30s for lows. This is our current storm system, well above average temperatures today. Warm air ahead of the system, cold air behind it. A low rotates counterclockwise. This simply shows you all the warm air ahead of the storm system that is currently moving through the region. But watch what happens over the coming days. Watch to our northwest and how quickly the map takes a turn towards colder air. We'll stop here Saturday, widespread below normal averages across Canada into much of the United States. We've displaced that warm air. We'll keep moving forward in time, and we'll stop here on Monday. Look to our northwest. Here comes the bitterly cold air that's going to push into our region next week. Just how cold will depend on whether we have snow on the ground. We'll stop here Wednesday, and this is when you start to see the real dump of cold air, the Arctic air push south and east. Perhaps warm air ahead of it. Again, we'll have to see if there's a storm system in there somewhere. But then watch how rapidly the cold air just pushes into much of the United States. We'll stop here on Christmas Eve, and these are well below average. Look down here, minus 28 degrees Celsius below average temperatures. That's not the air temperature, that's how many degrees below average the temperatures will be. And you can see in our region, bitterly cold air as well as we move into Christmas, a very cold Christmas anticipated. And then perhaps it moderates a little bit right after Christmas. Let's take a look at precipitation. We see today's rain moving through our region. There's that second wave of low pressure that I told you would form with additional rain. We move through the next few days, perhaps some clouds and snow flurries Friday into Saturday over our northern counties. Nothing significant. We were watching Sunday night and Monday for another storm system with some light rain or snow. I have 20% chances right now. It's not a big deal. Another system Monday night and Tuesday. We'll keep an eye on that. I did put in low end snow flurries, snow chances. Doesn't appear to be a big deal, but there's a lot of moving parts of the forecast, so you want to check back frequently. The bigger question is what happens as all that cold air arrives next week. These black lines are isobars, equal lines of pressure. Look how tightly packed they are. It's going to be very windy, gusty winds with that cold air as it moves in. It's going to make it feel even colder with the wind chills. We move through, we don't see a lot of precipitation on this particular run of the GFS model. Let me show you what it showed 12 hours. The EC and GFS models run 4 times a day. During an active pattern, they can have wild swings in their final solutions on what they're forecasting. Let me show you what that same model that showed dry conditions next week showed just 24 hours ago. It showed a blizzard developing over our area with heavy snow over Missouri, Illinois, into Kentucky, Indiana, high winds, blowing snow. This would be a bona fide blizzard in our area. But this morning's run showed no precipitation at all. So what does that tell us? It tells us that the models have wild swings from run to run during this time of the year when there's a lot of moving parts, northern jet, southern jet, lobes of energy, 500 millibar vorts moving through this. Occasionally one of those storm systems will develop and deepen in our area, bringing widespread precipitation. If everything doesn't come together just right, it ends up dry and cold. We just don't know whether there's going to be a winter storm with all of this cold air. It's too soon to know. It's in the extended long range. It's past day 7. As I always tell you, don't trust the models this time of the year past a few days because they will have wild swings from run to run. So we keep watching this. We'll watch the evolution of it over the coming days. I'm watching all of the models, all of the trends, the ensembles, all of it. About half of the ensembles show a winter storm, half of them don't. Ensembles are the same model, but they run them over and over again with slightly different beginning variables. The general idea is that the more ensembles that agree, the higher the confidence in the overall forecast. About 50% of them show snow, about 50% of them show no snow. 100% of them show the cold air. The cold air is a lot. We'll keep an eye on it. I know many of you have travel plans next week. I'll be updating frequently. I'm on top of it. I'll keep an eye on it. If you're not a subscriber to Weather Talk, then I encourage you to become one. You can do that at www.weathertalk.com. The daily blog is just one small part of the subscription. We also have the severe weather alerts, ice storm, winter storm alerts. All those go out on the app. The daily forecast goes out on the app. Social media alerts when I update Facebook, when I update the blog, videos, that all goes out on the app. The Ohio Valley, Missouri Valley, long-range videos, all of that goes out on the Weather Talk app. Let me just show you the blog. So I do this daily, Monday through Friday, sometimes on the weekend. It has your 7-day. It has 48-hour graphics. It has a severe weather outlook, winter weather outlook for the next 7 days. Then I divide up the region and give you the forecast region by region. Northern parts of southeast Missouri, the Boot Heel, I-64 corridor of southern Illinois, extreme southern Illinois, the southern 7 counties, far west Kentucky, Penny Rile area, west Kentucky, northwest Kentucky, and northwest Tennessee. So then you can drill down and see what's expected in your area, temperatures, wind, rain probabilities. When they vary across the region, you can pick out your zone and you can see that. Typically, I go out 5 to 7 days on those details. Then you go farther down in the blog, keep moving here, and you get the farming agriculture outlook, severe weather outlook. You have the severe weather outlook from the SPC. You have rainfall outlook for 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours. Then you have my analysis. I go into more detail. I post graphics, futurecast radar images. You receive the long-range commentary when we look ahead. Keep going down, futurecast radars. I'll pick out what radars I think are going to be correct for the day, and I'll post those. Sometimes those are short range, sometimes both short and long range. Keep going down, there's the agricultural outlook. Keep going down farther, and you have the long-range outlook, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, temperature and precipitation outlooks, monthly outlooks, December, January, February, and then the seasonal outlooks. So there is a lot of information on the daily weather blog, tremendous amount of information. This is a tremendous value as well. So subscribe at www.weathertalk.com. Then you enter your county that you want to subscribe for. You pick the products you want, and then you download the app in the App Store. It's under Weather Talk, and then you can start receiving all of this information. The blog is also in the app.